Hey, if you miss us live, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcast.
My name's Tony Llord. I'm the general manager over at Fred Bean's Kia and Landlord. I just wanted to take a minute to talk about Larry Felman at Career Changers USA. Larry and I have been working together for about the last 12 years now, and anything I've ever needed as far as recruiting, training, Larry's been right there. Larry's got me salespeople, he's got me managers, he's got me technicians, even through the toughest times in the industry. And he is just the kind of guy who's going to tell you exactly what's on his mind. He's going to tell you exactly what he thinks. But Larry also has the expertise to back it up. When he was in the dealership world, he was a top performer. And that's really important to my staff, especially as it pertains to training. A lot of people can come in and teach out of a textbook, but Larry has real world experience dealing with customers, dealing with situations in dealerships that we go through on a daily basis and try to train on. But Larry's been through it, so he can really empathize with the people and tell you what's worked for him and maybe what way not to go. Larry is just always at a 10. I mean, his energy level is always up there. And I think people, they just love that and they feed off of it. He's not faking it. He is genuinely excited to come in and help you. He's excited to come in and help grow your business. And he's one of those people who just really enjoys seeing dealers succeed and have a lot of fun at the same time.
All right. Life is about connection. Having a support system to lean on. And roads to endless possibility. At every turn, guiding the way, we are building the connections that move you.
So what would your dealership feel like if your entire sales staff was literally on fire, your sales and service staff? They were nonstop all over social media, completely dominating your marketplace. They could do it in 30 days or less and then continue their education to do it for an entire 6 months or a year. You literally would completely take over the entire marketplace and no one would be able to compete with you. And that's what we can do for you. So when you're walking around your community, whether you're at local restaurants or you're going to the gym, if you don't want to be bothered, fine, you won't be bothered. But a lot of people will walk up to you and say, oh my God, I love your social media. Your staff is amazing. We love what you're doing in the community. We want to come buy a car from you. We want to get an oil change at your dealership. Your community is absolutely going to love you. And it doesn't matter what platform you're on. You could be on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all social media platforms. You will literally be all over the place. And not only will you have ads running, but your own staff is going to be promoting your brand and promoting themselves within the dealership and within the business. So it's like running an ad times 100-fold because your entire staff is participating in the process. I've traveled all over North America. I've trained Toyota. I've trained Nissan. I've been to driving sales. I've been to Women in Auto. I get hired as a speaker for conferences at universities all over the country. And I can help change the trajectory of your dealership right now.
Hey, if you missed this live, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcast.
This is Ian.
And this is Jeff here on day three of NADA 2024 after the big parties, which are the biggest, the best, the brightest, most awesome, attributed to our friends here at DAS Technology. And we have here the COO, Jason Barrie, a good friend of ours, and my new personal hero for helping us last night. Jason, hi, how are you today?
How are you? Good to see you, Ian. How are you?
Good.
Great to see you.
So you guys had the big party, which really isn't the reason we're interviewing you, but I have to tell you something when you get names like llord Dual and TLC and Warren G, and that was
Jeff Polo.
Jeff Polo core.
There you go. It's amazing. You know, the entertainment was amazing. We were talking to them beforehand. They were just blown away by just like the passion of, they're like, who's in the audience? They're like car dealers, there's F&I providers, there's lenders, there's agents, there's OEMs, there's our technology partners. You're like, these guys are wild. Like, they're having a blast. They're having a great time. And, you know, part of like, they were picking up on the vibe and the mojo in this industry. Like, it's a passionate industry. Like, entrepreneurs are, you know, driving billions of dollars of transactions in their dealer groups. And you know, as an industry, we just thrive off of that. So they were loving it. You know, Paul Abdul, they're across the board. They're like, this is awesome. So
was that planned for her to use the conga line through the route?
I'll be honest, our marketing team is awesome. Maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. Either way, it worked out.
But by the way, there was, I don't know if you saw, but there was a very famous rapper there, T-Rex.
That's true. That's right. Your audience is like, what are they talking about?
Oh, yeah. Well, of course, it is the inflatable T-Rex that you see in all those videos, but it's probably a different one. So the thing that comes up, tell us what really is DAS Technology. We met you way back when it was Digital Airstrike. I'm so thrilled to at least keep the logo. And I've always said we should still be Digital Airstrike, but it's way, way more. I mean, I keep having to read up on what you guys really do.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So very simply, Digital Airstrike, we focus on the consumer. We focus on the dealer. We focus on enabling a better communication experience between the two. And dealers have a lot of data, a lot of information that sits in their CRM and their DMS and other systems. And we focus on using technology behind the scenes to help the dealer be a hell of a lot better in effectively communicating with that consumer, whether it's, you know, I'm just looking to buy a car, shopping, so deeper in the sales process and to the purchase process, and then the post-sale service side. And we think about that journey. We say there's a whole bunch of data a dealer has. And how do we help clean that data up? How do we then help the dealer say, you know what, I've got to communicate to the consumers better. So when the consumer's asking for information, actually giving them what they're asking for. Right. And when the consumer is stuck in a certain part of the process, I'm using my data effectively to be able to say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, you know, we're going to be able to effectively give you the price and the payment and alternative vehicles when you're shopping for a car, as opposed to just sending you a generic communication. Right. Say, hey, yes, we'll be in touch in 24 hours. By the way, you know, stop on in our showroom if you want an immediate quote. Right. And so we're we're laser focused on using technology and data to help a dealer be smarter in how they communicate. And we partner with the CRMs and the DMSs, and the evolution of the name, you know, Digital Airstrike, everyone knows the orange. They know our history and roots in social media reputation management. They know us, you know, to really be a friend of the industry. We integrate with over 200 technology companies. The rebrand was, for us, a really important milestone to demonstrate the evolution of the business, you know, where we're focusing on that experience. But also we have a series of other brands that are under the organization, including Autovate, which is the leading best practice thought leadership around automotive technology and investment. Best Ride, which is a B2C marketplace for consumers to shop. And the most recent acquisition of Freebirds that we've incorporated within our communication experience.
So obviously, it's kind of like Pac-Man gobbling up other technology companies, to use an analogy, not to say it's fair, but yeah. So when you're looking for obviously companies to acquire or companies to partner with, and obviously you have a large dealer base, what are you looking for in the market today? I mean, obviously lots of different technology companies at the show, new, established. I mean, what are you looking for there to add to your smorgasbord of companies?
Sure, that's a great question. I want to simplify.
Okay.
Our focus is that experience, the customer experience, consumer experience. And this show this year was extremely focused for a lot of dealers. When we say customer experience, right? A lot of dealers kind of scratch their heads. What are you talking about? And they're like, well, I have my CRM, right? I communicate out of the CRM, or I have other tools. And you're thinking about a dealer, they have about 40 boxes that are on the wall. They have a CRM, they have a DMS, they have a digital retailing tool, still in those 40 boxes. Yeah. And they don't have a customer experience box per se. And quite honestly, I'd say that, I'd make that comment up until the last 6 to 12 months. And this NADA, to be very honest, we had people, dealers, dealer principals, GMs, GSMs, service managers coming to us and asking for this category. If you remember last year at NADA, we were probably having a conversation. They're like CDXP and CDP, and you had all sorts of acronyms, and the dealers were confused. And we found this year, as people are coming to our booth, they're like, we need a customer communication platform. We had multiple instances of that. Yeah. And dealers are realizing they have data that's sitting, and to be able to unleash the power of that data, to be better, to get a higher ROI on that communication. That's that interesting category that we're leading to drive. And what we're excited about as well, I hope you do this. There's a lot of other companies in this customer experience, CX, CDP category. We're hearing dealers, that are saying, listen, I'm here and I'm going to go talk to company X and company Y, company Z, and some of those companies didn't exist 2 years ago. Yeah. And at the same time, the dealers weren't asking for it and shopping in that category. Right. So for us, it's a really exciting piece. At the end of the day, what that means, customers going to get a better experience.
Well, it's very funny that you bring this up. And my opinion is dealers have spent the last 3-ish years not being very nice. They've been, it's sort of like people last night at the party when somebody came by, can I get you a drink? And the answer was sure. Yeah. And at the end of the night, the big guys by the door at the earpieces said, whoa, you're not going out there to get into a car, because they're just being given it. And I got a good look from somebody over there, kind of a dirty look, which is like, what are you talking about? And what I mean is that when somebody comes in and says, do you have a car? I noticed in your thing there that it said 18% of EV buyers were looking for an EV, but there happened to be one there, which is very weird. But now when you've had dealers that are used to saying, well, and I repeat this almost to everybody I talk to, I knew a guy that had a certain car on order, and it was very high in demand, and nobody was calling him. He called to get what's going on. They said, well, I do have one, but you know what? You're going to have to buy this, put this on it, put this on it, put this on it. You're going to have to get a warranty. The fees are now because they'll need it all. And if you want it, I might be able to get it for you. But I don't want that. Okay, next. Click. Right. And now we're worrying about customer experience. So some just don't know.
Yeah, let's make that real for a dealer. So you referenced a stat from our 10th annual trend study. So we interview 7,000 consumers that recently purchased a certain car. And there's one number that was mind-blowing to me. And we actually conducted this last year. The numbers are consistent from last year. Only 37% of consumers, when they asked for specific payment information or details about the vehicle in the shopping process, received what they asked for. Only 37%. Wow. So what does that mean? Majority of the consumers are saying, hi, I'd like a payment. Hi, I'd like information XYZ. And the dealer's not providing it to them. Now, I think I talked to hundreds of dealers the last couple of days. Not one of them's like, I want to be shady and I don't want to be transparent and screw the customer and I want to ding him as hard as, like, I've seen the evolution of dealers and they know there's a demand by consumers for a better experience. The challenge is they don't know how to do it. They're stuck. Do they do it one-to-one? Yeah, of course. Like, you want to deliver the best experience, but how do you scale that when you're getting hundreds, thousands of inquiries that come in? And that's where the dealer's hands are tied of like, I got to be able to get the customer what they need, but how do I scale it?
Yeah.
And that's this evolution of customer experience capabilities that the digital retailing providers, right, done a phenomenal job enabling a transformation in our industry. They're helping dealers expose that. So the consumer goes to the dealer's website. Consumer asks for structure a deal, get payment, and that's great. But what happens when that customer disappears? How are you nurturing that customer? How are you following up? How are you engaging?
How are you even noticing if the customer disappeared?
Indeed, that's exactly it. And that's this next phase of our industry, it's the customer experience. And many other industries have gone through this metamorphosis. We're at the pinnacle of that transformation, and it's going to just go from there.
Well, that reminds me, I worked at a dealer 25 years ago.
There you go.
Happened to be a Honda dealer. And at the time, Honda had pricing on their website of what the payment was, what the totals were, whatever. And in the showroom, the finance manager, good or bad, had a lease board. You know, this car, that car, whatever. Every single lease payment was loaded by, I don't know, call it $100 a month. So the customer walk in and they look at the lease board, it was $100 more. And then they sit down with you and they say, well, I was on the website and, you know, it was this much money. And I said, okay, well, you know, try to dance around the thing. And then the manager would go crazy about it because he'd go, well, you know, we want her to buy products or want him to buy products. And I'd say, yeah, but right out of the gate, you raised the price $100 a month that he could sit there on his computer at home, or she can, and do that. And the thing that was interesting about it was, I'm not saying dealers do this today, I don't know, but to your point with your study, when I worked at a Honda dealer years later, I would constantly work on payments on multiple vehicles, and it wasn't about the price. It was like, okay, I like it. What's it going to cost me? And I take it to the show here this week. There's these guys with massage chairs, selling massage chairs, and 10 years ago they were probably $2,500. Now they're 10 grand. So I'm looking at these egg things, and they're kind of like something from Mork and Mindy. Yeah, and I'm like, you got 0% interest on a massage chair? Like what does this thing do? Does it do coffee? Like, it was
realized that not many people remember Mork and Mindy anymore.
Oh, okay. It looked like an egg for the younger generation. Yeah,
they're not new.
Yeah. So the question there is, if that gentleman who owns that company or sells it can provide that information right there to car dealers, to your point, why can't you do that at scale online, since that's where people are starting their journey? And we know today they're visiting a lot of dealers before they choose one.
That's a great, we love the integration opportunities, partnerships that we ensure that all these pieces connect, right? And we look at the larger companies in our industry, they're focused on workflow, right? And we focus, with the specific area of customer communication through the integration with those organizations and businesses. The dealers love that. And tech companies can come together and integrate and share. So in a digital retailing tool, CRM, customer experience platform, that they all share information. And as a dealer, for those that are listening to this podcast, that it's about finding the right partner that recognizes the value of that integration, that workflow, and sharing the data. That's important because that'll enable exactly what you're talking about. That is really complex, right? A lot of dealers, it goes back to, they're hiring CIOs, CTOs to put these pieces together and look at it more systematic, right? But again, it trickles down. Like, what's the consumer's deal? Like, they're shopping, they're searching 18 different sites, all right? Then they want to connect the dots, and then they're talking to a dealer, they want to payment, and then you're following up. There's all that stuff needs to consistent. We're excited because we're part of that.
Well, we talked to Mr. Pash at PCG yesterday, and he used to do an annual awards ceremony for the best in digital. And I asked him, are you doing that next year? And he goes, no, we're not doing it anymore. I said, why? He said, because A, we've been saying for years that all these different companies should work together. That's the future of it. And B, he said, it just takes too much time to vet the companies. It's too expensive to do the award show. It isn't worth our time. And I sat there and I said, okay, it's really interesting because he spent a lot of time doing that. But more importantly, to your point, I'm a dealer, pick a dealer group, small, big. I want a solution that goes end to end, that works with the CRM, the DMS, my sales team, my finance team, and the OEM and the customer. That's simple, that I can understand.
Yeah, that's when I, through my experience in this industry, I think it's such important. The dealer's not asking the question. Let's connect the dots. We love to do this.
Yeah,
like it's all take the whiteboard out and what's your ecosystem?
Yeah,
and how does the data flow? We love doing, even though we're like one of 40.
Yeah,
we need to understand that workflow, because that's going to drive the success or failure. It'll be a train wreck if that information's not flowing the way that it wants it. And we have open, honest conversations with dealers about that. It's great.
Well, yeah, and I was talking to Ford Motor Company yesterday because I was thinking about accessory sales, to pick up an area. So I was at the Ford booth, and I said, okay, do you have someone here from Ford Motor Company that deals with accessory sales? Because I used to work for Nissan. I can share some information. Because I noticed with my new car, it has an app. And I'm not really using the app at a high level because it's new for me. But I said, what if that app could market to that customer in a timely manner directly on their phone for, say, an accessory sale based on weather, or based on what they have on the car, or based on change in needs? And she goes, well, how would that work? I'd say, well, it's a notification baked into the app the customer's using that basically pops up and say, hey, do you want a deal on all weather mats or whatever it might be? And she's like, well, how would that work for the dealer? I'm like, I don't know, but you got a customer captive on their phone who's using it to start their car. I mean, it's a pretty logical, if it was done right, to do that.
And it goes back to, it's a very linear process. Like, where do you sell F&I products? The process.
Yeah.
And that's changed as well, right?
Yeah.
Consumers are demanding information up front. They have a good experience with the service contract. They want to know. They're educating themselves. So, yeah, we look at F&I, look at parts, service, look at even like decline service, right? How are you using that data and information to then feed to the F&I opportunities?
100%.
They decline it because there's too much out of pocket. Where you can show the value of an extended warranty, service contract, whatnot, and then all of a sudden that big bill is so big, using that data smartly.
Well, there's a lot of places are actually having ways. We interviewed somebody today. I can't remember the company, but that's okay because we're not going to promote anybody on your your moment here. But they have a system where they drive through and they come into service. It takes 2,000 pictures of the car. It takes pictures underneath the car, looks for oil leaks, looks for tire wear, etc., and then immediately sends it out to service, sales, F&I, etc.
Yeah.
Because there's been an opportunity. If a dealer's smart, saying, don't worry, service, if that car needs the work, you're going to get it, but maybe we can sell them a car.
Yeah, those are the intricacies of, we dealers are good at selling cars, servicing cars. We want to keep that focus. And, you look at the data and the trending, complex details, and we're connecting the dots for the dealer, right? We're looking at the data and understanding, what does a message do to drive for action and then a result? And, that's part of what, we always pride ourselves on. We're kind of, from we're the air traffic controllers, to get back to the digital air traffic term of, we'll look at that data and make sure that the planes are flying, make sure things are smooth. And we're doing that because our team are experts at that. They understand technology. We want to provide the data and the insights to the dealer to make a recommendation. I'm coming back and like, yep, you're right, let's do it. Or no, we tried that 3 years ago and it didn't work. Why? And then here's the technology support.
Yeah, like I was at the hotel we're staying at. They've been sending me text messages every day. Now it's a little too much, but it's like, upgrade your experience, do this, do that. And I was sitting there going, maybe those hotel fees were they're using for something. But it was interesting because it's the start of what they eventually will do, which is customizing that experience for that customer, on the device they're using.
Yeah, I'll give you a good example. So I'm staying at a hotel in the Strip's up. Listen, it's not one of the top hotels. I had a phone call from someone, human, right? Saying, how was your experience, right? What's anything that my team can do to make your experience even better? And for me, it was easy. It was like, oh, I'm all good. Like, in the room for 3 hours. Yeah, and I'm at a trade show. I don't sleep in the trade show. Just the fact I hung up the phone, just the fact that they took the time and called me. Now, they're paying someone that's human to make that call. For me, it was 10 seconds. I was positive. Maybe they get a heat case every once in a while. I don't know. I didn't change my towels last night, right? But that investment in me, like, I'll go back to that I was about to say dealership, but hotel, that they're thinking about that. And would I've had the same experience if it was an AI driven chatbot? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Right. The fact that they've set up a process that they're intentionally and overtly reaching out to me. That for me as a consumer, like, they care, right? They're actually making an outreach. Is it more humanistic with the human calling? Yes, of course. Now, majority of consumers, especially younger generation, not picking up their phones.
Yeah.
But if that was a chat, like a chat bot per se, there's a balance. And I think that's you're seeing this term AI.
Yeah.
Buzz of AI. And there you go. And I give CDK credit on this. They put out a press release, or as an article, that they talked about some of their AI capabilities as responsible AI.
Right.
And I wholeheartedly agree with that. And we've had built-in AI, artificial intelligence, in our algorithm for multiple years.
Yeah.
And we've been very responsible with that to ensure that it's driving improvement, not just that AI to have AI. Like, you've had a lot of dealers walk up like, what do you got for AI? We're like, well, what do you need?
Yeah.
It's like, well, what's your AI saying? And there is no AI thing per se, but it's about the experience.
Yeah.
How we do it. If it's squirrels on a bike, or if it's AI, or if it's an algorithm that doesn't have AI, quote unquote, it's about what's the end result. So we gotta not get lost in the buzzwords of our.
Well, it's very funny. A gentleman named Tim Hayden is a good friend of ours. He's a Great Trust Partners. I'm not saying to plug him, but data's his thing. But AI, we're going to have we're having a show coming up sometime this spring called AI. Oh. And because he said, literally, he was talking to a company here, a tech company, and they are flaunting they're talking about their great AI thing. And they used a major player in the AI thing to build their AI. And he says, something's wrong with that. And it's like a dealer coming to you guys. And I want to ask you this I need to my question. But so what's your AI thing? So there's a big challenge, I believe, right now for the industry is single point and small group dealerships. So somebody who has 4 stores in a small town, city in middle America, middle Canada, they can't afford a $300,000 a year chief technology officer. They can't. But somebody's got to decipher it. I made a joke yesterday. We want to come up with a way to decipher all these letters, all these acronyms, the DMS and the ROIs, which are easy for car dealers. But how do they get through this? We know digital airstrike. We're just in awe of your company and the things you do. No crap.
Thank you.
But you guys still seem to have your head on the ground. You're offering experience. You guys, aren't you glad you didn't? You visited digital airstrike today. Kids jokes, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Yes.
You're focused on that humanistic thing. You could easily, I mentioned earlier, there you are. You weren't in Orange. I was very disappointed in you last night.
I've got my
there you go.
open and my
Represent.
maybe buy a handkerchief.
Exactly. But there you got your staff walking around in inflatable outfits. You had a silver somebody, I don't know what it is, dancing with people. You had some really great talent, which is really easy. It's easy to write a check to somebody with a name. But how does a dealer know? So they come up and they see, oh my gosh, George downstairs.
Yeah.
Just great guy.
Yeah.
Talking to him and hopefully they're trained to say,
Let me give you a good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe this will go well. This will be bad, and nobody will listen to this part of it.
we don't mind.
Take a guess of in our survey the percent of consumers that actually transacted the purchase online. What do you think?
20%.
What do you think it was?
I think about 15%.
Okay.
And the answer is
Only 2.4% of respondents, 60% of whom were male and 40% female, reported completing the car buying process entirely online. Wow. So what does that tell us? There's what I love. There's great new technologies that can enable the transaction online, right? Digitizing. maybe not 100%, but majority of it. What this is telling us, it's consistent with what the conversations are with consumers that we're having, the dealers. Consumers want that human touch. They want the human interaction. They're buying second most expensive asset in the portfolio, the balance sheet. You want to understand and learn about EVs that are new technologies. You want to yes, there's a lot of data and information online. There's a lot of information online. So seek out experts to help you with that process. And this industry can't get lost in that, right? Technology is it's making us better, right? But it's not to replace our teams. Now, can a dealer go from 15 sales reps to 10 because they see value in this technology, make the sales reps more efficient? Possibly.
Yeah.
The consumers are still coming in, wanting to see what John or Mary you want. If I was to buy a dealer from my stores, I see technology as a requirement. Every dealership, of course, technology like a telephone, but it's an enabler, not a replacement. We're not turning this industry to such straight.
So the thing is, and then it says that you guys have also focused on the human side of it, because there's, I know me, I'm looking at a dealer, I walk around, I look at this stuff. Oh, cool. These guys are talking cool stuff. And it's like, oh my God, like today is the day of reckoning if somebody needs to buy stuff here, because that's the ones you see. But there's a human aspect there, and somebody's got to tell them what all these acronyms are.
Yeah, it's education. We just recently hired somebody in our finance team. He never worked in just interact with customers, but we educate our entire organization on the alphabet soup, the acronyms, and we always talk about it. Even internally about acronyms, but as an industry, we love them, right? And we get lost in it sometimes. We think in the industry, we gotta keep it simple.
Well, there should be a new addition to the C-suite. So if AI is going bigger, it's a CPO, Chief Protection Officer. That should be John Connor.
Well, there you go.
And that's my joke the whole time, man.
Well, the other thing, though, that's interesting you bring up, and it was interesting specifically with this hotel, not to go back to hotels, but you have someone booking online, you got someone in the hotel dealing with that, and then you got someone in the actual physical thing dealing with that, and they don't interact all on the same page in a lot of cases. So I happen to have a plane problem when I was coming here. So then you call the hotel, oh no, you got to talk to this department. You talk to them, oh, you got to talk to that department, and then the online booking has a whole different process.
This is very interesting. I can't tell you how much we appreciate.
I love seeing you guys on this annual basis.
Well, it's nice, and if it's very funny because we're at I-80A, which was in Scottsdale, or used car week, sorry, in Scottsdale, and I thought to myself, holy cow! After, of course, we should have called you up, come and visit you.
That's it.
And seen that, and but unlike a lot of people, we don't go to these things to go. We have fun with everything we meet, but we go to do the actual show. We don't go to party, except the one in San Diego was a lot of fun.
Yeah, San Diego, that small military base.
Exactly. Small, that was my thing. But I thank you for taking the time with us. We know you're busy, and thanks for the hospitality. And look at us. We got this cool suite upstairs.
Yeah.
It's busy downstairs. We got some conversations.
Well, that's cool. Yes, there, watch it.
Thanks for your time, Jeff.
Thank you.
All right.
Pleasure.
Hey, if you missed this live, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcast.
What is David on? He's with political.
Hey, if you missed this live, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcast.